How's it going, everybody? It's K-Limit here, and recently I went video game hunting down in Kentucky, and I gotta tell you, I had a great time. I went to Cardinal Gaming, and let me tell you, it is a fantastic store. They have a great selection, and as you can see here, I had to immediately go towards the Game Boy Advance games and look for some video games. And I did see some stuff that I had never actually seen before. I saw some Sonic games I had never seen before. I saw a Serious Sam game that I had never seen before, and I really like picking up first-person shooters on the Game Boy Advance. I always check out all the different Game Boy games as well, just to see what's around. I checked out the PSP games. I don't have a PSP, but it is something that I've been thinking about for a while. I don't know if I'll ever pick one up or not, but I do have temptations to get them every now and then, but I already have so many different systems and so many games in my backlog anyway, like, I don't really feel like I should probably put another system in there at this point, but I still like to look at what they got and, you know, contemplate getting one. But yeah, I looked at all of those, and I saw some stuff that I was interested in, but obviously, I might as well go and look at the stuff that is not in the case before I go ask for help for stuff that's in the case. And I had to go check out the PS1 games because, well, I love the PlayStation 1, so why wouldn't I? So I went over to check out the PS1 games, and I saw this Beyblade here. This is one that I'm tempted to get. I like Beyblade. I didn't have any of the toys or anything growing up. It was actually something that I discovered as an adult, which is kind of hilarious. I knew about it as a kid, but I never actually played Beyblade until I was an adult, which it's kind of sad. but I will say, it's actually fun. I actually highly recommend it. But I actually saw that, and I was tempted by that. It's still on my list, and I will probably pick it up eventually. But I've seen it in a lot of different places. I saw this Lion King game, and this is one that I actually saw recently for the first time. I didn't actually know that this game existed until a few weeks ago. And I saw the gameplay of it, and it looked pretty good. It looks like a decent 3D platformer. I saw this Sorcerer game here, and it's more like a puzzle game, which I'm not against puzzle games. I actually like some puzzle games, as long as I go into them knowing that they are going to be all puzzles. I don't like it when there's like horseshoe-in puzzles into like games that are pretty much, you know, action only for the most part. But when it's a complete puzzle game and that's all it's about, I kind of like that. I did see this Hot Wheels game on the PS1. I've never played this one. I'm still tempted to pick that one up eventually. I'm hoping I can find it for a decent price eventually. That wasn't a bad price for it, but, you know, I have a lot of Hot Wheels games that I already have that I enjoy, so I wasn't in a hurry to pick that one up. You saw me pick up Crash Team Racing there for a second, though. Crash Team Racing is an amazing game. Love that game. You can actually pick it up digitally still on the PS3, I believe, and you can get it really cheap doing that. And I believe you can pick up the Spyro game still on there. But, you know, I like having the games physical, and they play on the PS3 still, even if you get the physical copies. And I saw this right there. I saw that game, and I was just like, it kind of looks cool. It was like a tank-style game. Went over to the PS2 games. I'm always looking for, again, PlayStation 1 and 2, that is my jam right there. I love PlayStation 1 and 2 games. Those are my favorite things to collect. And I saw some goodies. I saw that Civil War game. That's one that I played growing up and I did enjoy quite a bit. Again, it's one of those that I can pretty much pick up at any time, though. There's no rush for me to really pick that one up. It's not going up in price right now. I doubt it will anytime soon. I see it everywhere, so I will play it eventually again, and I will pick it up eventually again, but I'm just not in a hurry to do so right now. But I will pick it up eventually. I'm always looking through these, and I'm always looking for games that, you know, I have on my list. Always looking for that Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Saw Sphinx there. I was tempted to pick up Sphinx, but the problem is that it's also on the Switch now, so I'm kind of like, well, I should probably just pick up the new Switch version instead. So that's the only reason I really didn't pick that one up. But I'm always looking for games like Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I'm still looking for that one. I found a couple of the other games I was looking for. I found Rough Trigger, which I was very excited about. I saw Scooby-Doo here. I didn't know what Scooby-Doo that was. I think I actually own that Scooby-Doo game, so I didn't pick that one up. I'm always looking for the Godzilla games as well. The Godzilla games on PS2 are unfortunately really expensive, and I doubt I'm ever going to find them for a good deal. But if I ever find them for under $60, I'd be interested in them. But I'm not interested in them for over $60. That ain't happening. I've only done that for one used game ever, and I don't think it was a good deal still, so I'll never do that again. But as you can see here, though, I'm looking for it. I was looking through everything I could to see if I could find it, but unfortunately, it didn't pop up. But still, a pretty good selection of PS3 games, PS2 games, and here's the PS3 games. I was looking for Shadows of the Dam still. I'm still looking for that one. I'd like to find it in person instead of buying it online, because people online want a ridiculous price for it. Games like that aren't getting made anymore and are kind of obscure, because like you're never going to see a game like Shadows of the Damned made ever again. It's just probably, I know that it's getting a remaster, but in terms of like new games being made like that, it's probably not going to happen. So those games are going up in price whenever you see them, and a lot of people don't have faith in the companies to release them in their original form anyway. So that's another reason why there's a lot of people who want those PS3 and Xbox 360 versions of those games. I always do look at the Xbox 360 games too, just to see if there's anything backwards compatible on the Xbox Series X. I have a 360, but I don't usually have it hooked up, so I could play these games on it, but I usually try to stick to stuff that's Xbox Series X backwards compatible. It just works out better for me that way. I saw this game, it was a horror game, I got excited, and then I saw it requires the Kinect, and that was a no-go for me. I don't have it to Kinect, have no interest in getting one, so that was no bueno. And, of course, original Xbox games as well. And I saw something I've been looking for. You can see I struggle getting that game out there. That's Unreal Championship 2. This is one that I've been looking for. It's backwards compatible on the Xbox Series X. I wanted this one for a while, and I was very happy to find it. And for not too bad of a price either. See Flat Out in there. Oh man, I wish they'd make that backwards compatible. That'd be great. we need more arcade racing games to come out on modern systems. I saw Burnout in there too. Like, we need more Burnout games. We need more Flat Out games. We need more stuff like that, you know. Wreckfest was a great step in the right direction. We just need more of those type of video games. Less simulations, more arcade racers. That's what I want. I was looking at the Genesis games as well. I think this is where they keep kind of like the common Genesis games. There's a Marsupilami here. I was tempted by that because I love the Marsupilami video game I played on the Xbox Series X, so I wouldn't mind going back and playing one of the older ones. But I think that was more of like the cheaper ones and the ones that they didn't have a case for that were sitting over there. They have some more stuff in the cases here, some more expensive stuff, some new stuff, and they had a decent little PS1 game in there that I was tempted by. They had a copy of Hercules on the PS1, and that is one that I've been tempted by in the past, but it's kind of expensive for what it is right now, so I just haven't gone for it yet, and I know it's only going to get more expensive, but I saw Silent Hill 2 there, over $100 for Silent Hill 2. There's no reason for that. I'm sorry. There is no reason for Silent Hill. There's no reason for any pre-owned game. Let's be real. There's no reason for any pre-owned game to be over $100. But Silent Hill 2, a game that was actually successful, and you can also play on other systems, there's no reason for that game to be over $100, and there's no reason to pay over $100 for that game. That's ridiculous. And that's the common price for it everywhere. So I understand why game stores are pricing it at that, but it's just silly. It is completely silly to do that. I'm always looking at the Super Nintendo games, hoping to find some first-person shooters. I'd love to find Doom on the Super Nintendo. I have still never I've never ran into a physical copy of Doom on the Super Nintendo in person, so that's still something that I'm looking for. So hopefully one day I'm able to come across it. They had some more out on the outside here, and these were more common games. Nothing too crazy there, but you know, they had some stuff that I was looking at just to... I always like to check out, see if there's anything that looks like a shoot 'em up or anything on the NES or on the Super Nintendo. I like looking for that stuff. But nothing like that here, unfortunately. It just looks like a lot of commons, a lot of sports games, and things of that nature. I'm not a big N64 guy, but I figured I'd show this on camera because I thought it was kind of cool. Quake 64. I played through the first Quake for the first time not that long ago on the Xbox Series X, so it's kind of cool to see that in person, Quake 64. So I did check that out, and I thought that was cool. Now, this is a different location. This is actually a flea market that I went to. And I went here, of course, looking for some video games, as I go to all of these places looking for video games. And I went straight to the cases, because last time, I've been to this place before, and last time I was here, they had video games, and they had changed it up a little bit. However, there was still a case that had video games right there. And a pretty good selection of them, too. and a lot of movie tie-in stuffs, but I will say it was all really well priced, like $3 for a lot of the movie tie-in games and stuff like that. This guy had stuff really for fair deals, so I was very happy to see that. I got some stuff out of this one, and I could have walked away with more, but I wanted to pace myself. Looked at the Super Nintendo games, and they had some goodies in there. They had Jurassic Park on it. The only reason I didn't pick up Jurassic Park on the Super Nintendo is that everyone has said that that's an insanely hard game, and I don't really want to. That's not my type of video game. I don't want to play something insanely difficult. I like relaxing when I play video games, so playing something that's just going to be kind of stressful doesn't really sound fun to me. But it wasn't in there, and I was tempted by it just because I'm in a dinosaur mood, and I've been in a dinosaur mood recently. But yeah, just ton and ton of video games. I like that their GameCube collection right here, this GameCube section that they had, their GameCube section is actually better than most video game stores sections I see. So that was kind of cool to see. More GameCube games there than I see in most video game stores. So yeah, always up for seeing that. And of course, there's some action figures over here I figured I would show you guys as well. Something I had to get on camera was the Sega Saturn games, because the Sega Saturn it has a special place in my heart because that was the first video game system I ever had. And I also saw these. I had never seen 3DO games in person, so that was kind of cool to see. I had never seen the cases like that before or anything, so, I don't know what's good there and what's not, but I wanted to show it to you guys because, that's kind of rare to see. I see Dragon's Lair there, and that's a game I'm familiar with, and it's kind of hard to see. They had Wolfenstein 3D, it looks like, so they had some pretty decent stuff on it, but yeah, I had never seen 3DO games in person. In fact, I've never even seen a 3DO system in person, so just seeing that was pretty cool. So I was happy to see that, and I just thought it would be really cool to show you guys on camera. Alright everybody, I'm back from Kentucky, and I'm going to show you what I picked up. We're going to start off with the flea market stuff, and then I'll show you the stuff I got at the video game store. But at the flea market, I picked up Vortex on the Super Nintendo for $11.99. I had never seen this game before. I looked it up, and it looks like Star Fox, actually. It's kind of like a 3D shooter game, so I'm excited to check this out and see what this is like. I saw this. I haven't bought a Wii game in a while, so I got this. This is SpongeBob's Boating Bash. I like SpongeBob video games, and I like racing games. And I have never played this before, and I figured for $5, why not give it a shot? Now, I did get a couple movie tie-in games as well. I know a lot of people aren't crazy about movie tie-in games, but I actually do like them, especially if they are 3D platformers. And these both look like they're 3D platformers. And they were pretty cheap. They're only $3 a piece. So I figured I'd go ahead and give them a shot and see if they're any good. I'm always up for trying 3D platformers. And yeah, they're $3 all over the place. He went a little bit happy with the stickers, apparently. So there's what I got from the flea market. Now, let's go ahead and show you what I picked up from the game store. I did pick up more PS2 games because I'm just in a PS2 mood right now. I'm trying to get more PS2 games just because I love that system. So I picked up Dark Angel Vampire Apocalypse. This is an interesting looking game. It's kind of like an over-the-top view, and it looks a little bit like Diablo. I'm going to have to play this and check it out and see what this game is like. I've been looking for it, though, so I'm glad that I ran into it. And here's another game I was actually looking for. I was looking for Rough Trigger. And I had never seen this game in person, and it was there, so I went ahead and picked it up. And I'm not exactly sure what this game is going to be like. It kind of looks, just based off the pictures and everything, it kind of looks like it's going to be something like Ratchet & Clank. So I'm excited to check this out. This is one, again, I've been looking for this one for a while. And here's another game that I've also been looking for a while. So I did pick up some games that I've been looking for, so that's always a good thing. So I picked up Garfield Lasagna World Tour. Funny thing about this game is that I've never seen an American copy of this game until today. At one point, I looked for this game online, and for some reason, I could only come across PAL games. I don't know why that is. So I was very happy when I ran across this. I don't know why I couldn't find any American copies for this online, but for some reason, I just kept finding PAL games. I was like, okay, where's the American versions? But yeah, I found this one, and I was happy to find that. I'm excited to check this out. I love Garfield. I grew up with the Garfield comics, so always up for playing more Garfield. And now I did pick up an original Xbox game as well. This is one that I've been looking for. Unreal Championship, the something conflict. Is that Uwanda or... I think it's Uwanda. Or Uwandri? Leandri. Leandri? Is that L? Okay, it's Leandri. Okay. Unreal Championship, the Leandri conflict. So, this is, I believe, one of the ones that's backwards compatible. I hope I got it right, because there's 2 Unreal Championship 2s. So, I hope this is the right one. But I saw this, went ahead and picked it up, and I'm excited to check it out. And I also picked up some PlayStation 1 games. I always love picking up stuff for the PlayStation 1. I played my PlayStation 1 games on my PlayStation 3 to get them in that glorious HD. So I also was looking for all of these. So again, I found more games that I've been looking for, which is awesome. I actually got a lot of games knocked off the checklist. So this is one that I've been wanting. This is a 3D platformer, I believe. And this is Lion King, Simba's Mighty Adventure. I had seen some screenshots for this game online, and it looks pretty good, and you can see some more on the back there. And yeah, I'm just excited to check this out and see what it's all about. I also picked up the original Spyro. Yes, believe it or not, I did not have the original Spyro in my collection. Why did I not have this in my collection? Honestly, I don't really have a good reason that I didn't have this in my collection, other than the fact that it's kind of always been around 20 bucks, so I was just like, kind of putting it off, and it's not like a rare game or anything like that, so I've just kind of been putting off. Every time I see it, I'm just like, I'll get it next time, and I guess this was finally the time to get it. And here's another game that I finally picked up, Crash Team Racing. I love Crash Team Racing as well. I used to play this one all the time as a kid. I used to play both of these as a kid quite a bit, but, you know, I just didn't have it in my collection for whatever reason. I've had the new remaster or whatever, but I still really like the original game. You know, I like its graphics and everything. Obviously, it's got that PlayStation 1 polygon, style to it, and I like that quite a bit. So, for some reason, I didn't have this in my collection either, but this was probably the best price I've seen it for in a while. Usually, it goes for 20 bucks. It was 18 bucks, so I didn't save a lot of money, but I figured why not. Honestly, with the Spyro game, this one usually, I've seen this one for as low as 20 bucks too, so, it just kind of depends where you get the games from. I was okay with paying a little bit more on Spyro, because I was just like, you know what, let's just go ahead and get it. And then Crash Team Racing, obviously I saved a couple bucks on. Alright, so last, and I have no idea if it's least or not, because this is a game that I have not played, and I didn't even know existed, but I love first-person shooters on the GBA, on the Game Boy Advance. I love first-person shooters on it. Now, let me make this clear. First-person shooters on the Game Boy Advance are not necessarily good, but I like them. First-person shooters on the Game Boy Advance are very rough. They don't play necessarily super well. They don't look great, but to me, it's kind of an experience to play them. I enjoy playing them, enjoy seeing how they work and everything, because to me, it's just impressive that they were even able to get first-person shooters working on the Game Boy Advance. So, this was actually the most expensive game of the day, 33 bucks, but I've never seen it before. I had never seen Serious Sam on the Game Boy Advance, so, this first time seeing it in person, I didn't even know if it was a good deal or not. It could be a bad deal, I don't know. But either way, it was a first-person shooter, and I wanted to play it, so to me, even if I may have paid a little bit more than it usually goes for, to me it is a good deal, because I've never seen it before, and I wanted to play it today, so there we go. So I'm excited to check this out as well. And that is all of the games that I picked up from Kentucky. I had a fun time down there. Fun time in Shelbyville, just running around, checking out what games they had, and I'm pretty happy with my haul. I'm excited to do some reviews for you guys, too, because I got a lot more stuff I can review now, and I hope that you are excited for it, and I hope that you hit that subscribe button if you're interested in seeing some reviews for some of these video games, because I love doing reviews, I love just talking about video games, and I hope that you guys enjoy listening. So, I'll talk to you in the next video. You have a wonderful day. Bye-bye. If you made it to the end of the video, I really appreciate you watching it all the way through. I hope that you enjoyed it. I did want to show one more thing. It's not video game really related, so that's why I'm showing it at the end here, but it's these Gundam model kits. The first store I went to, Cards and All, has an amazing section of Gunpla. So if you are someone that likes building these model kits, my brother loves these things. So if you are someone that likes building these, I think that you would love to see just these different model kits here, and they have them at really good prices too. So That's something that's always cool to see. I like seeing them, and I know that there's other Gunpla collectors out there who are also retro gamers that probably want to see them as well. So this one's for you guys. I hope that you enjoyed this, and thank you so much for sticking to the end.